Hey, Tubies! This is Bob Hickman. I'm crazy, right? You know that I'm crazy, right? I'm so glad to be here with you guys. You guys rock. Well, first of all, thank you to all of you who came up to yesterday's video on CIA UFO revelations. If you didn't see that, that's the video right before this one. Check it out. Pretty interesting stuff. I think you're going to be excited if you haven't seen that. You're going to enjoy it. Anyways, it's Tuesday, and you know what Tuesday is. That's Messages from the Spirit World Day, and we wouldn't miss it. I am so glad you guys are here. We've been having a lot of new subscribers. I want to say thank you to all of you who just come out. I've literally in the last week had like 200 new subscribers, so I can't list all of you, but I want to say thank you. You know who you are. I've seen your subscriptions. I've seen your joining the channel. Thank you so much for all your support. Love you guys. Hope you'll enjoy being here. I hope you'll get to know everybody on our channel. We're all like a big family here. We have the best time. So anyways, for those of you who are new, Messages from the Spirit World. I do this every week. I answer psychic questions from viewers. For those of you who may not know, I am a full-time professional psychic medium. I literally do this all day long. I do readings and I love it. Now for my private readings, I do charge because that is my business. My private readings are an hour long and we go real in depth. We cover past lives, future lives, current life themes, spirit guides, all of that's in my private readings. If you want to learn more about this, you can go to my website at robert-hickman.com. I'll put a link below here. But for those of you who want to know about Messages from the Spirit World, this is free. I do not charge for this. This is my gift to the YouTube community. And so you can write to me here at Spirit Channel or at my website, which of course the link is below. And I will add your question to the list. Now I get hundreds of letters a week, so I can't always get everybody right away. And you know, there's only one of me, so I ask your patience. But also, as you're listening to the questions, try to listen because sometimes spirit will answer something you need in your life through another person. So that's how they work, because the spirit world, when they're channeling, they want to get as many people as they can and help as many. So, you know, if you don't get your question answered, please don't hate me. I've been getting a few hate letters saying that I'm evil and I don't help people. Guys, I really, this is the best I can do, you know, and I appreciate your patience and your support. So please come here with an open heart and mind. If I get your question, you know, then I do. But if I can't get to you, please don't hate me, okay? I love you guys. If you have an urgent situation, you just can't wait for messages, you might want to consider investing in a private reading, and we can sit down and look at that. I do phone readings, I do Skype readings, I do in-person readings. So yeah, so contact me at my website and we can talk more about that, okay? But anyways, we've got letters here today and I'm excited. But before we get into those, let's all take a moment. Let's settle down. Let's attune to the spirit world. Okay. My spirit guide Fletcher's back here. All right, our first letter is from Dracoxion. That's a cool name. Dracoxion writes, "Hi, Bob. I'm interested in knowing about other dimensions and if there are different territories and realms within the spirit world." You know, Dracoxion, that's an amazing question. Yes, there are other dimensions. How many? I'd say unlimited. Um, and, you know, are there different territories and realms in the spirit world? Absolutely. The spirit world is kind of like the light spectrum. You know, we have the dark end of the spectrum all the way to the bright end. And in the spirit realm, you know, when you die, you leave your body. You go to the realm of spirit where you are most attuned. So this is why it pays to live a good and wholesome and spiritual life, because if you live in the light, when you die, you go to the heavenly realms. And there are many levels even in the heavenly realms. I also believe, now I know a lot of spiritualists and Wiccans don't believe in it. I do believe in a hellish realm as well. But the hellish realms, which you have to understand, are even those are temporary. because it is a teaching of the spiritualist movement that the door to reformation for a soul is never closed, for any soul here or hereafter, meaning that as you evolve and you do your spirit work and you grow in the light, you grow your soul. Now many spirits will tell you that it's best to do the work on earth. Don't just say, oh well, I'll fix it when I get to heaven. It doesn't really work that way, because if you live an evil, debauched life, when you die, you're not going to the pearly gates. I'm sorry, you're just not. You're going to go to a darker realm, and you may be surrounded by hellish people, and it literally will be hell. I don't say that to scare you, but it is simply a fact. There's a saying in the spiritualist tradition, as above, so below. As below, so above, meaning the energy that you carry here, you take there, and that's where you'll find yourself. So we should do our spiritual growth here, and we can then go to the higher realms. Now, in the spiritualist tradition, it's taught that people from the higher realms can move into the lower realms, but people in the lower realms can't go to the higher realms until they earn that right. So by focusing on development, you get more power in the afterlife, and you're in a more blessed position. Also, in that place, you can then help the lower souls. So actually, I probably have to do a whole video on this. I think that's a very good question. So we're going to come back to that. But in terms of dimensions, unlimited. Now, there's traditionally people talk about 12 dimensions. So that's kind of one model, but that's not the only one. And we're doing a series here on the ascension spirituality. So I'm going to talk about dimensional realities as well. So definitely keep watching. But just in a quick, short way to answer your question, yes, there are multiple dimensions. There are unlimited dimensions, and there are unlimited realms and territories in the spirit realm, and you get to go to the ones that you are most attuned to. Hope that helps for the short term. We'll get more into it, but thanks for writing. All right, our next letter is from Paige Ellen 23, and she says, Dear Psychic Bob, how do I help earthbound spirits? Paige Ellen, that's a very good question. That's actually also probably going to have to be a whole video. But really, what you want to remember when you're dealing with an earthbound is that they were once human too. They're people. They're still human. They're just in spirit form. And that means that they have emotions. They have a heart. They have a soul. They have thoughts. They have feelings. And so we never want to treat the earthbounds as if they are, slaves to be commanded. I've known psychics, I won't say who, but have said you must go in and root them out of houses and demand they leave and force them out. No, these are people. They're usually very troubled people. They're souls that are stuck here many times because a lot of times of fear, unresolved issues with God, with loved ones, with themselves. And so for them to detach suddenly from the earth realm, for them is like trauma. Many of them have not even come to the fact that they've died. See, a lot of them are still in denial. They're like, I know I'm alive, I can think, I can feel. And see, what happens is a lot of people who don't believe in the spirit world, who don't have a soul awareness, when they die, it really messes with their mind, because suddenly they're outside of their bodies and they're still alive. They can see themselves, because the spirit body, the initial spirit body, I should say, is literally a clone of the physical. So like let's say I die today, immediately I'm wearing this purple t-shirt, my pendant. When I step out of my body, most likely I'll be wearing this exact outfit. It'll be replicated in the spirit world. So I'll look at myself, because see, spirits see themselves as solid. They don't see themselves as ghosty. And they'll say, well, I'm still alive, but wait, my body's there. How's this possible? And it's very confusing. So a lot of them, they stay around thinking they got to figure this out, when the truth is that they are dead. Now, many times earthbound souls will even have loved ones come from the other side and try to take them over. Well, that freaks them out, because they don't believe in an afterlife. So it's not possible for them that great-grandmother is coming to visit them. So they even push that away, and they're in total denial. So with earthbounds, we have to first remember, have compassion. They are struggling, they're suffering. Some of them act out. Some of them act like evil people because they were evil in their lives. But what you want to do is speak to them with compassion. Just talk to them like you talk to a troubled person. And you say, listen, I know this is hard for you to understand, but you're a spirit. You have left the body, and you can go to the light. And you just talk to them. Say, there's a light. See, every spirit always, this is God's mercy, has an open doorway. Any spirit in the spirit body can look around a room, and somewhere there's an open portal of light, wherever they are. And that's the light to the other side. And you tell them that their mother or their grandmother, whoever they love, is over there, because they are, and they will greet them. You can call in their relatives. You say, I invite the relatives to come through the door to guide this one over. And you kind of build a support team so that they don't have to go alone. I use my spirit guide, Rose, when I work with earthbounds, because she was an earthbound herself and also went to purgatory. And she understands their sufferings. And so, you know, asking your angels and guides to come in. If you don't know how to do that, just call on Archangel Michael or Archangel Raphael. The angels are wonderful. They have a lot of compassion. And ask them to help you as well, okay? So there are a lot of techniques. In fact, that also is going to have to probably be a whole video. But just for today, remember this. Treat them with compassion. Don't yell at them. Don't curse them. Don't threaten them. They're just people struggling. So you have to understand. They're kind of like mentally ill because they're in total denial, many of them, who they are, where they are, and what's going on. And the reality is it's going to take a team to help acclimatize them to the shock of what has happened to them. All right? Anyway, so you talk to them and do what I suggested. Ask them to go over, call in your support team, their support team, and you can get them over. Okay? Hope that helps. Blessings to you. All right, our next letter is from Sugarinaz. Forgive me if I'm saying that wrong. And they say, hi, Bob. I love your channel. Oh, thank you so much. I'm glad you're here. Can you tell us about gods and goddesses? Are they real? What dimension do they dwell in? What is their relationship to humanity? And what happens to them if the culture that worships them dies out? I look forward to your videos. Much love and thanks. Hi, dear. Thank you so much. These are really wonderful questions. You guys are sending some big questions. I think these are all going to have to be whole videos in themselves. But just for now, let me put it this way. As for gods and goddesses, they are real. Okay? I know there is a very strong Judeo-Christian culture in this country, in the United States at least, that says there's only one God and there are no other gods, they're all fake and it doesn't exist. But I don't see it that way. I practice Wiccan spirituality and I've encountered the other gods, and they're as real as Jesus or Jehovah. They're all there. You can think of this as kind of like, somebody explained this to me at one time, that divinity is like a big diamond. You know, like a beautiful diamond, it's cut and faceted and sparkles. And each god is like a facet on the diamond. So you might be looking at the facet that is Jesus, and somebody else is looking at the facet that is Isis, and somebody else is looking at the facet that is, you know, Buddha, you know, however you define the higher power. But all of these really are segments of the bigger reality, which is that light that comes through all the facets of the diamond. So divinity is really bigger. Yes, the people who see Jesus are seeing divinity. People say to me, well, Psychic Bob, if Jesus is truly God, if he's divine, then how can you say Isis is divine? There's only one guy. I said, no, there's one power. There's one light of divinity, but it manifests in many forms. And so Jesus truly is God. People are shocked. Some of the Wiccans don't like when I say that. They're like, you're pagan, you can't say that. Listen, I don't believe that. I believe that God can take that form. Is Jesus God? Yes, he is. Is Isis goddess? Yes, she is. You see, that divinity is not limited, but it's like a facet. And some people focus on one facet. Some people step back and see the whole diamond, and the light, they absorb it. So however you see it, it's divinity. Call upon your higher power. I knew people that did AA, and they told me, they said that one of the principles in AA is, the first principle is you have to get a higher power. And they say in AA, we don't care who your higher power is. That chair over there across the room might be your higher power. You pray to the chair today. That chair is your God. But you need to have a higher power. And I think there's a lot of wisdom in that, because once you connect to the higher power, whatever you call it, you're in real communion with power that is going to sustain you, to uplift you, and to bless you. So yes, all the gods and goddesses are real. What dimension do they dwell in? Whatever world they want. Every god has its own paradise and its own realm. So like the person that we answered earlier about the dimensions, there are unlimited dimensions, just as there are unlimited gods and goddesses. And yes, they are real. This other question, what is their relationship to humanity, and what happens to them if the culture they worship dies out? Well, you see, the gods being eternal never die. The knowledge of them on earth may die, such as people forget the goddess Isis and forgot her for thousands of years, but she herself still exists. And the gods are in a place of beauty and light, and they still create influence on the earth, whether they're believed in or not. So it's not an issue of like, well, do people believe in Isis, therefore she exists? Isis exists independent of anybody's belief. But if you choose to connect to deity through her current, she will be present for you. Anyways, this is a lot of stuff, but I'm going to have to do a whole video on that, but I hope that helps for now. Thanks for writing. All right, our next letter is Neal for Neal James. And Neal for Neal James writes, hi, Bob. My birthday is in a few days. Oh, my goodness. Well, happy birthday. I hope I didn't miss it. Maybe I did. This has been about a week since you wrote this, but happy birthday if I missed it. Can my spirit guides give me any messages for this year? Thank you, Bob. Yeah. James, when I step into your energy, I'm getting a lot of galactic energy around you. You have an Arcturian as a spirit guide. The name is Loros, L-O-R-O-S. He's one of the guides working with you. And they show me that this year, you're really opening your channel. Your stream of consciousness is really getting stronger. And I feel like this is inspiring you to reach for greater goals, greater vision here. I pick up around you some transition here around April. I pick up a job change for you. I feel like that at this point, what I'm getting is in terms of work around you, seems like you're feeling stifled. And I feel like this guide, Loros, and the Arcturians are like bringing knowledge to you, bringing inspiration, bringing new beginning. And I think around April, you'll be in a position to transfer to a new work assignment. I don't feel that you're being fired, but I feel this as an opportunity. It's either like a promotion or that somebody from a different company or a different location is offering you an assignment to work for them. So around April, I see transition for you. And I feel like I would say when that comes up, take it, run with it, and go for it. You're ready for some growth and for some change. And I do feel for you, 2016 is a blessed year. Okay? Hope that helps. Thanks for writing. Blessings to you. All right, our next letter is from Samantha. Hello, Samantha. She writes, Dear Bob, can you share with me any insights on my mother? She was absent for me in my time of growing up. Many thanks, Sam. Hi, Samantha. Right now, hon, as I step into your vibration, a lot of purple light around you. You're very psychic. You're very powerful. It's interesting, when I step back into your younger years here, I pick up hostility. I pick up violence around you. I feel that you came from a background where I pick up like aggression, particularly from a male. I feel this is a male relative. I want to put it on feels like a father or an older brother here. But I get males around you treating you badly. I feel like it's interesting because when I step into that whole family vibration around you, I get chaos. And what I get around your mother, now, first of all, let me tell you, I feel that your mother's crossed. I don't know if you can confirm that for me, but I do feel like that she's crossed into spirit because what I get is her trying to approach you, but she has a lot of trepidation around her. And I get the sense that when she was alive, it's as if she, how do I say, she operated from a place of fear. I have to tell you, I don't pick her up as necessarily being evil or trying to be hurtful, but I feel that she was paralyzed. She was paralyzed by fear. And I feel that around you, around, as I said, a male relative, I want to say this is a father energy. I feel that he was hostile and abusive towards her. And I feel that he was hostile and abusive towards you. And your mother's absence from your life and her lack of support around you, I feel came from a place of absolute fear. I feel that your father operated from a place also, strange as it may sound, of hurt. I feel that he was very neglected and abused as a child. And I feel that he never healed from that. And I feel that when he went into the relationship with your mother, rather than being a bond of love, he looked at it as a bond of security and control, as if he felt that your mother would make it all right, his troubled past. And when she couldn't, because it wasn't her role really, he became violent and aggressive. And I feel that your mother in some way mentally shut down. I get her literally, as strange as that, literally blinded. It's almost like she could not see the hostility. And I don't think it was an issue of her not caring. I truly feel that she somehow literally mentally checked out. I don't get her being even physically or mentally present. Even if she was physically near you when this was occurring, I don't feel like she had any recollection. It's literally like blank. And you and I might say, well, how could she not? That's terrible. She didn't help me. But honestly, she couldn't even help herself because she was so mentally locked down that she literally was blinded. And I feel like she went into a place of deep denial because I feel like I keep hearing you speaking to her and I feel like you're saying, but what about, but what about? And what I get from her is, well, what are you talking about? And that wasn't her trying to be denying, but her denial came from truly a place of emptiness. The reality that you lived, it did happen, it is real, but in her reality, she honestly doesn't have a recall. And I feel like now that she's in spirit, I get her saying, I'm understanding. I feel like she's trying to say, forgive me for not being present. And she's telling me that if she could have been present, she would have. I feel that around her, she had a lot of spiritual gifts, but she did not have support to understand them. She was very much an introvert when she was alive, but that introversion didn't go to a place of finding spiritual light. It just simply went within. Going within is good, but it's only you're meant to go in so that you find the power then to act in the outer world. And I don't feel that she made the connection between the light within and how to take that power to the outer world. So I'm so sorry. I do feel struggle here around this. I feel that you've been through a lot of trauma and a lot of hurt. But I also can tell you from a spiritual place that many mediums have gone through trauma as children. It's very interesting, but it does seem to be a pattern. It's almost like the trauma opens up the channeling process. Not that we want to do it that way, but there does seem to be a connection. And so in the bigger scheme of things, Spirit knew that you were more powerful than you know, and now you're given a lot of light. So anyways, I hope that helps a little bit. Okay. I send blessings to you. Keep me posted. Thanks. All right, our next letter is from Amy Diana. Hi, Amy Diana. And she writes, Dear Bob, I am based in Edinburgh, Scotland. Oh, I love Edinburgh. I've been there. Wonderful place. It's notorious for its hauntings and spirits. That is true. How can I channel my gifts to help those in need? Also, I feel a presence with me at all times. Is it a female? I think it is. Is this my spirit guide / guardian angel? I believe I have seen her in my apartment. Thank you so much. Sending my love to you from Scotland. Oh, thank you, darling. Yeah, you do. Well, first of all, in terms of using your gifts, we're going to do a whole video on how to work with earthbounds. But I will tell you, I do pick up around you a gift of mediumship. I do feel that you are connecting with beings that are from the earthbound realm. Okay. Now, interestingly, I do get around you 2 spirit guides. One is a girl named Emily. She looks like she's dressed in Victorian clothing, and I believe she was a medium in the 1800s, Victorian Scotland. She's actually Scottish. And she's working with you to help you develop your mediumship. That's who you saw in your apartment. There's another lady I pick up around you as well. Perhaps you know this name, Helen Duncan. She was a famous medium during World War II. I get her presence around you, and I feel like she's calling you into greater mediumship. And how to use your gifts, really, what you've got to do is be in tune with your inner self, your higher self. Being a medium means you have to meditate every day and keep talking to your guides. So I want you to talk to Emily. I want you to talk to Helen. Ask them to bring people into your life that need your help. And when you give the spirit world permission, they'll bring you people. They'll bring you souls that are lost. They'll bring you earthbounds. They'll bring you, all sort of wonderful, even people here on the earth. You'll draw them to you, and you'll be of service. So being of service requires that you say, I'm willing to commit to serve. I want to serve God. I want to serve the spirit world. I want to serve the earth world, the people on the earth. And when you make that commitment with your guides through your higher self, you'll start working. I would encourage you, also, you may want to visit a spiritualist church. They're very big throughout the UK. We don't have them as much in America anymore as we used to, but the spiritualist movement is still very strong throughout the United Kingdom. And if you go to a spiritualist church, you can work with mediums. They'll train you. Many of them have development classes. Now, you're a little more advanced than a lot of people, so they're going to recognize you right away and know your power, and you'll kind of get put in the advanced class. But I do see you working in spiritualist circles, and I do feel you have a calling. And, with the spirits around you, remember, like I said earlier, be compassionate. I know in Scotland, I've been to Scotland, and some of those ghosts up there are pretty intense. Scotland was an experience for me as a medium. I did a walkthrough of the city, and I'm not joking, every building I went to had a spirit. It amazed me. I've never been to a place as haunted. So if you're in Edinburgh, you got good pickings there. You can really develop, okay? I wish I had spent more time there. But anyways, you check out the Spiritualist Church, and I send blessings to you. Hope that helps a little bit. Blessings. Keep me posted, okay? Thanks, everybody. Well, guys, listen, I am so sorry. That's all I'm going to get to today. Psychic Bob is maxed out. I got more private readings to do. But I'm so glad you're here. Listen, keep it here at Spirit Channel. Like this, favorite, share it with your friends. Also, happy Imbolc. I'm going to try to get out an Imbolc video tonight. So watch for that. And also be back here tomorrow. I'm going to have a special treat about a special present that I received from one of my dear friends who's also a viewer here. You don't want to miss it. So be back here later tonight for Imbolc and tomorrow for my special present video. All right, guys. Blessings to you. Oh, hit that subscribe. Be part of our channel. Love you. Bye-bye. See you then. See you soon. Bye-bye.